unless we leave a force in Iraq to remain there, to sustain stability there, you will see the same movie that we are now seeing in Iraq today. So we have a feckless foreign policy. We need Monica there. We need a majority. We need a majority in both houses so that we can put the brakes on this president who has put the United States of America in greater danger than we have been in since the end of the Cold War. And we care, and you care, and the veterans who have served and sacrificed in Iraq and Afghanistan certainly deserve better than the outcome that it's had today. My friends, just one small example. There's a city in Iraq called Fallujah. Fallujah, in 2007, the most major battle of the Iraq War, where the Marines and soldiers went in to get Al-Qaeda out. We lost 96 dead, several hundred wounded, and we got Al-Qaeda out. Today, you know whose flag flies over the city of Fallujah?
ISIS.
ISIS. ISIS. ISIS. That did not have to happen. It breaks my heart to meet the family members of those who served and sacrificed, and it didn't have to happen. We need a new voice in the United States Senate. We need a voice of moderation. We need a voice of independence. I am here because I believe in Monica, and I know you do too.
It's wonderful to see everybody here because we are in the home stretch and we are going to do this, whether they like it or not. I get asked one question more than any other as I go around, all around this state. And that question is, why? My children asked me this when we were talking about running for this office. My children said, Mom, why would you leave a job that you trained until you're 35 years old to do and everybody loves you to jump into this snake pit of this viper zone, this fact-free zone to run for office? And so I always tell them a story that I think exemplifies it the most. I had a little boy with a brain tumor that I treated several years ago. Came to us, was pretty sick. We took his tumor out. He did really well. And came back later and gave me a thank you note. And on that thank you note it said, if we're not here to make life better for one another, then what's the point? And I have always taken that to heart because I couldn't sit back and watch what was happening to our country year after year. I couldn't take it. I had to get out there and try to make a difference. I knew there were risks involved. I knew that there were all sorts of things that would happen. But, you know, it was worth it to me to get out there and try because every day when I sit in my office and talk to patients, there's almost a palpable sense of anxiety or depression out there about this new normal. We're supposed to accept that we're a country in decline, that this is as good as it's going to get, that we're at this new normal. And it's no wonder they feel that way because of the policies for the last 6 years. Look what the Merkley-Obama agenda has done to Oregon. Our middle class, you know, Merkley runs around saying he's the big champion of the middle class. He's our big hero. He's the friend of the middle class. Well, with friends like him, who needs enemies? Look at what's happened to our middle class. We earn $3,000 less per year per family since Merkley's gotten in office. In Oregon, 8.9% decrease in income for our middle class families. 1 in 5 are on food stamps. Do you know that in Oregon, in the last 6 years since Merkley's been in office, we have put more people on food stamps than have gotten a job? And it's not by a few hundred, it's by 60,000. 60,000 more people have gone on food stamps than got a job in Oregon in the last 6 years. Now that doesn't sound very good to me. Our gas prices have doubled, our costs have gone up, people are worrying about how they're going to buy groceries, how they're going to pay their mortgage, how are they going to send their kids to school. This is what we've gotten after 6 years of Merkley, not to mention the dangerous world we're in now because of our indecisive, incompetent management of foreign policy. Now, what am I going to do for you when I get to the Senate? Along with my friend, Senator McCain. First thing we're going to do is we're going to fix Obamacare. We're going to get the government out of our health care. We don't want the government in the exam room and between the doctor and the patient. We had 150,000 people thrown off of their health care plan. We spent $2 billion on a website. Really? $2 billion? It doesn't work. Not to mention Oregon, $250 million down the drain for a system that doesn't work. Talk about government waste. We're going to fix the VA. I worked in the VA as a resident. I know what the VA is like, and I know what we need to do to fix it. We're going to balance our budget. We have to balance our budget at home. Why is it okay to let our government go around and spend more than we make every year? We're borrowing 50 cents on the dollar and leaving that for our kids to pay off. Somebody's going to have to pay that debt. It's immoral what we're doing to our children. It's generational theft, and we just cannot have that anymore. We've got to reform our tax code where money stays in our pocket instead of going to the government, where businesses don't feel like they, exactly, where businesses don't feel like they have to go overseas to be able to compete in this world. We need to lower our business tax so that companies can put their money back into their business, add more jobs, and grow our economy. We've got to use our natural resources, get people back into our forest. Our greatest natural resource. It's like telling Texas they can't drill for oil. I mean, come on. You know, we have got to get a sane natural resource policy. We've got to rein in the EPA. We've got to rein in this Dodd-Frank that's paralyzing our businesses. Get that noose of government and noose of regulations off the neck of our small businesses so that we can grow. And finally, we have got to reestablish ourselves as a world leader, as you just were hearing from Senator McCain. Because when there is a vacuum in leadership, you can be certain that that's going to be filled by somebody much less benevolent than us, and that's what's happening now. We have got to get where we are respected again in the world. Our allies can't trust us, our enemies don't fear us, and that has got to change because it is making the world more dangerous for our children. So how do we start? What's the first thing we have to do? Get you elected. Yes. Start sending different people back there. I mean, 70% of the country thinks we're headed in the wrong direction. I sure hope they remember that when they go to the ballot and vote. We cannot keep sending the same people back and think things are going to change. All right? We got to send people, first of all, who are accountable. You know, I'm a pediatric nurse. People hand me their little baby, their most precious gift, what they treasure the most in the world, and say, Dr. Wehby, take care of my baby. I'm accountable for that little life, that little Oregonian, just like all of you are accountable for your job and for what you do. We can't say our computer crashed and we lost all the emails like the IRS. We cannot say that. I mean, can you imagine? I'd love to tell the IRS that my computer crashed and gee, sorry, I don't have those records anymore. I'm sorry. I mean, I'd love it if I could do that with my taxes. Senator Merkley, God bless him, got together with 6 of his fellow Democrats and wrote the letter to the IRS asking them to investigate groups based on their political beliefs. You think Oregonians would be proud to know that their junior senator used a federal agency, a government agency, to go after his political opponents? Believe me, I know what it feels like when he goes after his political opponents. We've gotten so used to incompetence and to dishonesty that we're not even surprised by it anymore when we see it. Benghazi, Fast and Furious, NSA, IRS, what are the others?
Secret Service.
Secret Service. VA. I mean, we got to change this. We got to expect more.
The border.
Yeah.
The list goes on and on. All right? Second, we've got to elect people that have common sense, that are logical instead of ideological, that put facts. Facts and the truth above just ideology. As a doctor, that's what I do. I've got to use facts. You've got to be able to work with other people. And you cannot, Senator Merkley votes 95 to 98% of the time with his party. When he's feeling bipartisan, he is having a bipartisan year, he'll vote 95% of the time. When he's feeling, that he shouldn't, he votes 98% of the time with his party. He must have forgotten where he's from, because in Oregon, we don't agree 95% of the time with anybody.
Right, exactly
Let
right.
alone Harry Reid. We're a very independent-minded person, and we need a senator that's going to represent all of Oregon, not just one small sliver of Oregon. We got to represent everybody. And finally, we've got to elect people that are going to put Oregon and America above their own personal career.
That's right.
Definitely.
When you are rated the most extreme senator in the Senate by National Journal,
Exactly.
when you are one end of the spectrum or the other, you're never in the room when the problems are solved, because everybody figures you're just too far out there to be able to talk to.
Yep.
Senator McCain is one of these who's been very able to work across the aisle. That's something that has to be done. So finally, I always ask, do you think your children are going to have the same opportunities that we had growing up?
No.
Anybody?
No.
We have got to change that. I'm not going to sit back and let that happen. That's why I got into this race. I've got 4 teenagers. I'm not going to turn around and walk away and let what so many generations have sacrificed for to give us just disappear. When you think about moms generations ago who raised their little babies, got them toddlers, got them to walk, got them potty trained, took them to kindergarten, got them through grammar school, taught them their ABCs, taught them to read, got them to high school, played on the football team, whatever, got their date for homecoming, got them through prom, got them into college, ready to live their life. Then they go off in the military, never see them again. I am not going to sit back and let that happen and let our country disappear. What we stand for, what people have fought and died to give us.
Thank you.
That's right.
They don't send the vice president out to campaign for the other side if they're not scared. All right? We're going to win this race. I need your help. We need to get out. We need to rally the troops. We've got to all pull together as Republicans, and we can win this race. We are not going to accept this new normal. We are the United States of America, and we are going to win this. Thank you.